Okay, this video is for exercise 4D, the equation of a circle with centre A, B and radius R. We're going to start off by seeing where the equation of a circle comes from. So it's really simple. If you start with the circle, label it AB, draw in a radius. Okay, now we want this to stand for any circle, so let's call that point XY, so then it can stand for any point that's on the circle. And then whatever work we do here then will be an algebraic proof of the equation. And we label that R, okay, for radius. And basically all we're going to do is use Pythagoras Theorem again. So if we draw the horizontal and the vertical lines in, okay, and label the sides, so we know that's going to be y minus b. If those were numbers, we'd be able to work it out no problem. So as the letters, we just write it as an expression, so y minus b. And then we can do the same for the bottom. Alright, so we take the difference in the x coordinates to get that length, so that's going to be x subtract a. And then it's really simple, we just use Pythagoras Theorem, as I just said. So if we set up a statement using Pythagoras Theorem, so using Pythagoras Theorem, we're going to have well, y minus b and x minus a squared added together is going to be equal to r squared. And that is the equation of a circle. X minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals r squared. And we leave it in that form because that gives us all the information we need. The a and the b is the centre and the r is the radius. Okay, sometimes you'd be given that r, the number on the right will be just a number. So if you wanted to find out the radius, you'd have to square root that number, for example. Okay, well, that's the form we leave it in. It's called the equation of a circle with centre AB and radius R. Okay, so let's do some questions. Okay, we'll start with a really simple one. I just want to write down the equation of a circle with centre 5, 7 and radius 4. Okay, so do a quick sketch. So the centre is 5, 7 and the radius is 4. Okay, don't know why I've done a sketch, no one really needs, is there? But I think I'm obsessed with them. So AB is going to be 5, 7. R is going to be 4. And we just plug all those values into that equation of the circle. So x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared. So that's just going to be x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 4 squared. And just simplify that a bit, we'd have x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 16. Right, so let's do a few more slightly challenging ones. So I want to write down the coordinates of the centre and the radius of the following circles. So we start with the first one, which is just there on the left. And again, we just got to pick out A, B and R from that question. So obviously A is going to be 3 and B is 1. That's easy to see. It's basically your x and y coordinates are the opposite of the numbers that are in that bracket. So where in the x bracket we got negative 3, so our x coordinate is 3. Whereas in the y bracket it's negative 1 and y coordinate is 1. And we've also got r squared is equal to 16. So we are going to have to do a little bit of work with that number. But anyway, our centre is 3, 1. And our radius is just going to be the square root of 16, which is equal to 4. Alright, done. Dead simple. Right, so let's do a slightly more challenging question now. So this is like the ones that are in question 3. This is question 3A from exercise 4D. Okay, so you're not giving them in brackets, so you're going to have to rearrange that so you've got it in the form of an equation of a circle, as we've just been using. So we're actually going to use a topic that everyone loves from C1, and we're going to use completing the square. So I've rearranged that, look, so I've got the x's together and the y's together. So basically I'm going to have to complete the square on the x squared plus 4x part, and then on the y squared plus 9y part. Okay, so I'll get x plus 2 squared. I'll do the number bit next. Plus y plus 9 over 2 squared. Okay, and then I'm going to put the numbers you take away at the end. So I'm going to have to take away 2 squared and take away 9 over 2 squared. That would be take away 4 and take away 81 over 4. And that's equal to minus 3. Alright, you're happy with that? If completing the square is something you're a bit rusty on, you haven't done for a while, it might be an idea to do a bit of revision on that before you do question 3. So if I just rewrite that out, I'm just going to tidy up I'm going to take all those numbers to the right hand side and then tidy things up. So I'd have minus 3 plus 4 plus 81 over 4. Okay, and then you can just use your calculator then to work that out, and just leave your answer as a fraction if you need to. Okay, so that's going to give us x plus 2 squared plus y plus 9 over 2 squared. And then that simplifies down to 1 plus 81 over 4. If I just do the minus 3 plus 4 bit first. And it just makes that fraction a bit easier to work with. So let's just pretend this is C1 for now. You haven't actually got your calculator on you, okay? So that 1 is just going to be 4 over 4. So then you'd be doing 4 plus 81, which is 85. So it'll be 85 over 4. Okay, so let's just write out the left-hand side again. And that'll be equal to 85 over 4. And remember, to get a radius, we have to square root that fraction. Okay? So, to get what r is. So I'm just going to put a square root sign over that, and then put a bracket around it, and put the squared bit out there. So we're going to write it in that equation of a circle form. Alright? So I think we just try to squeeze it in by here. So x plus 2 squared plus y plus 9 over 2 squared is going to be equal to the square root of 85 over 4. Now I can't just randomly square root it. I'm going to have to do the opposite, so it still is effectively 85 over 4. Okay? And then that square root and the squared cancel each other out. So I'm just going to shrinking everything down at the moment, so I can just give myself a bit more room to finish off. Alright. So, therefore we've come down to that bit. And again, we can tidy that up, because with the fraction on the right hand side, right, we can't work out the square root of 85, but we can work out the square root of 4. Okay. So, if we just simplify that down, that's going to be root 85 over 2, square root of 4 is 2, all squared. And then in that bracket, then, that is my radius, so I haven't got anything to do. So I can pick up my centre from those numbers that are in the bracket. So my centre is just going to be negative 2, negative 9 over 2. And my radius is root 85 over 2. Now I haven't checked if that third cancels down, so you might want to just check that, but just leave it in third form as well. No need to work it out. Okay, the reason I wanted to go through A is that answer in the back of the book is actually wrong. Okay, the answer in the back of the book says that it simplifies down to x plus 2 all squared plus y plus 3 all squared. So I think there's a typing error in the book, and that 9 from the 9y should have actually been a 6. Okay, so that's why I wanted that in the video. Okay, so right then, off you go. Exercise 4D. Good luck.